Outbrain?
Yes.
And this is the one that you're saying, that's it. That's where I'm staying.
Yes.
This is not a company I'm, building up to sell and then exit and live the good life on a yacht somewhere. And I know you're a wonderful sailor too, but you really want to make this is where you want to stay. This is going to be your legacy.
Yes.
Why is Outbrain and the notion of discovery of content so important? Why is it changing the world?
I think before changing the world, it was important for me to change my world. So I love reading magazines. I love reading newspapers. That's what I did most of my school years, is read newspapers and not really listen to class. But in the old world,
you're a college dropout, right?
Yes.
Like all the greatest entrepreneurs ever.
Yeah, now it's a.
You're coming from a family of like everyone is professors.
Yeah, it would have been an embarrassment to graduate with what I'm doing, and so in the old world it was pretty easy. You had 5 choices of whatever newspaper, magazine, and you had an editor that you had to trust, and that was that. In the new world, that doesn't work anymore, because we have everyone's a publisher. You have great content that's being published. I'm a completionist. I have to find all the great content that would be wonderful for me, and it's just impossible to do manually. It's impossible to do through an editor. So I think the beauty of the current world versus print is we can observe what everyone is doing in the world, understand what's the most interesting content, understand how to personalize it, and have the best stuff find me. So until we get there to the point where every next link I click on is amazingly interesting, we keep going.
There's almost like a democratization of being able to create content and get people to see it. I mean, obviously, ESPN and Disney have a bigger head start over me, Joe Blow, but through tools like Outbrain, I have a fighting chance. Through social media. Like I could be more savvy than those companies in certain ways and basically get my voice out there.
True. And that's exactly the opportunities that brands have. They are becoming the owner of their own media. They don't have to succumb to the wishes of or the needs or the wants of publishers and have their messages appear alongside content that someone else created, with a very limited ability to share their story. And that's what brands are really passionate about. They want to be able to share their story. But when you're confined to a 15-second spot on TV or a 30-second spot and limited inventory of display around the content, how do you really relay the message? So with the opportunity of doing content marketing and being able to get their content discovered on every single publication around the web, that's a very interesting proposition.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting for users as well, because I think the fact that a piece of content is talking about a product or a service doesn't make it inherently an interruption. I think that was one of the kind of wrong assumptions in the old world. They had the luxury of making that assumption because it was easy to capture an audience and interrupt it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you're talking about a product or a service that you're interrupting. You could actually provide useful content. I think a beautiful example, not for me, but I heard for other people, are the home shopping networks, where people actually watch those networks as if it were content.
It is content.
It is content. Right? They're watching it as content. Yes.